Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report with your market watching trends for a Wednesday, hump day, March 3rd. Hopefully you're having yourself a good start to your day. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right hand corner. And hopefully you can join us live today, 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern, each and every weekday, Monday to Friday. We do a live podcast with the Ramblers and Gamblers right here on the Raymond Report YouTube channel. All right, don't forget, you'd also get my top plays, my best bets each and every day. Went 2-0 in the NBA last night. Looking to have another strong night. Got a lot of games on deck. And if you go to Streakcatcher.com, we got a couple of streakers right now. In fact, Eddie's on a 10-game win streak. He won last night with Arkansas. And Phillies 157 won with the Winnipeg Jets. He's now on a 5-game win streak. He's going for win number 6. And Eddie is going for win number 11. He's 2 wins away from $500. All right, let's take a look at the market index here for the SBI. SBI stands for Sports Betting Index, and what we do in this segment is we take a look at the market condition, just like you do in the Dow Jones, and to see what's come in. Favorites, underdogs, over-unders, and last night, the underdogs were barking all night. In fact, the clean sweep with the underdogs, 6-0 straight up for the dogs. And that was a pretty good night, and against the point spread. And I've said it many times, if you can pick the team straight up, there's a good chance they'll cover the spread. And if you picked the underdogs yesterday, if you had them on the money line, you made a king's ransom. But if you did okay also on the point spread, 6-0 to the point spread. The over-unders went 3-3 the night before, 6-1. Now you look at the 7-day average for over-unders, 51.6, 48.6. And that's why you're seeing we are now in a complete neutral market from the 3-day to 7-day average, betting over-under. So, fire away on over-unders. And last night, again, 100% of the dogs came in. On the 7-day average, however, 55.9% of the favorites have come in, and only 48 of them covered the point spread. 48% of the underdogs have covered the spread, the favorites have covered the spreads in the last 7 days. 52 for the dogs. And on the 1 month average, 58.5% of the NBA favorites won straight up, and 50.9 and 49.9 on the 30-day average here, betting NBA point spread. So as you can see right here, we're in a very neutral market. And so it's, from a market psychology, when you're doing your handicapping, the reason why I say, every day you got to know what has come in the night before, because, what goes up must come down. Favorites and underdogs can't win forever. Same thing with the over-unders. And if you look at the 7-day average, 3 days for the favorites straight up, and for the point spread, only 2 of them, or 3 also. And again, I say it all the time, if you look at this column and that column, it's almost identical when it comes up to betting the straight up favorites. And, normally, if you can bet the team to win straight up, you probably have a good chance of them covering the spread as well. Now let's take a look at the NHL, see what's come in last night in the NHL. I know the unders, again, have been having a pretty good run. 5-3 to the unders last night. And, this reminds me a little bit of baseball season, how baseball, all the overs were coming in. And I see the same pattern developing in hockey. Bet the unders in NHL hockey. And for the favorites last night, 7-1 to the favorites after an underdog night. And I'm seeing that kind of pattern here. If you look at the last, you never see the underdogs have winning nights back to back. In fact, I don't think it's happened this year. Look at this, 6-4, then the favorites. 6-4, then a push, and then the favorites. So you never see 2 candles in the red on the favorites. So that's why anytime you see an underdog have the good night, bet the favorites the next day, because they've been on a pretty good roll. 7-1 here, 4-3 right here. Here we had 2-2, 3-2, 1-1, 2-0. So as you can see, 4-1 after a 2-3. So a 5-1 here. So once the underdogs had a good night, normally the favorites follow up with an even better night, right? And last night, if you bet the puck line, 5-3 to the puck line, and over-unders on, let me see, on the 7-day average, 43.6% of the favorites have come in the NHL on the last 7 days. And when you look at the puck line, just going to move this right here, 39% of the favorites of covering, 61.1 of the underdogs on the puck line. Betting puck line has been very profitable this year. Look at all the green on this column right here, just betting the puck line. All right, let's take a look at the NBA market index. And this here is basically the market psychology of teams and what kind of cycle they're in, right? So when I talk about the Raymond Report, I always talk about 3 things: value, percentage play, and performance cycles. This is a great tool to see where your team is in the cycle from a market psychology. In fact, look at all the A-type teams, right? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams that have a winning percentage of 60% or higher. And all the green mean these teams are in a bull cycle, so they're either 5-2, 6-1, or 7-0 in their last 7 games. So of the, let me see what I said, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So of the 7 teams, only 4 of them are in a bull cycle: Milwaukee, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, and Phoenix. And you can see when I mention those teams how your mindset changes, right? If I mention the Lakers, what's your mindset now, right? Even though they're an A-type team, they're in a bear cycle. They're 2-5 in their last 7. And teams that are neutral, which I find the teams that you have good value betting on right now, Clippers and the Utah Jazz, those are teams, even though the Clippers lost last night, they're still an A-type team, and they're a solid team that, you know, they're going to go through winning and losing cycles. And right now, you're just getting the Clippers on a losing cycle, but it won't be long before they start getting back into the W column, right? Same thing for the B-type teams. So let's take a look at the green, the teams that are B-type teams. B means they're either 50 or 59.9% in the standings, and the teams that are B that are green right now, Toronto, Dallas, and Denver, those are teams that are bullish right now. So those teams you got to watch out though, because they're on a good run, and the bookmakers know that. So you know the betting public will see that, and the bookmaker will use that to their advantage. And that's why I'm very wary when I bet those type of teams. This is why I like to bet the yellow teams, the neutral teams, because from a bookmaker and a psychological point of view, I feel we're on the same level playing field with the bookmaker. And San Antonio, Portland, Golden State, Memphis, Boston, and New York, those are teams that I find have good value when you're handicapping them. And then you got your bottom dwellers, right? The team below 500, Indiana, Sacramento, Houston, Detroit, Minnesota, they're bearish right now. You know, these are teams that if you're gonna bet them, it falls into my uncomfortable pick department. But if you do want to bet some of these C-type teams, and you don't see only one team that is bullish in the C-type team, that's Miami. So Miami could be a team to watch out for. Then you got Charlotte, Chicago, New Orleans, Atlanta, Oklahoma, Cleveland, Washington, and Orlando that are neutral. So, you know, those are teams, you know, under the radar right now when I'm looking at them. But, you know, maybe Chicago is a team that I can trust. And it all comes down to trust, right? Psychology, and then the markets and the psychology is between you and the line and the bookmaker. He's the, you know, there's you and the bookmaker, and then in the middle is the market psychology, right? And that's where I think when we do, I'll give you a great example. Last night, I talked about this on my podcast yesterday, Atlanta against Miami. I just felt that the whole world was on Miami last night, and I said, you know what? There's just something in the air that tells me that Atlanta is the play here tonight. And if, you know, I'm not saying anything that I didn't say on my podcast. Go check it out. I said it was a trap play, and sure enough, Atlanta was a trap play. So this is why I come to the market index. I want to see where the market psychology of all these teams, where they are in the cycle, and hopefully when you do your handicapping, you come back to this chart and you say, okay, are they overvalued right now? They're in a bullish phase. They're 5-2. The public's all over them. So, you know, I look for yellow teams. Yellow teams, sometimes they have more value because it's just between you and the bookmaker. I feel that the market psychology of those teams are balanced. All right, let's take a look at the 80% club. I got some really good stats here today on the 80% club. And the Sixers, 22-1 when they're a home team coming off a 1-game win streak the last 3 years. And the last 16-1 when they're a home team coming off a home win as a favorite, 94.1% of the time. And the Warriors, the under is 12-1 for Golden State when they're picking the +3 away favorite, and they're coming off a loss, 92.3% to the under. So a nice stat there on the under. Let's go to the NHL. I got some good numbers here on the NHL. And let's take a look at the National Hockey League. Now, the Blues are 10-1 and is an away favorite against Anaheim since 1996, 90.9%. Vegas Golden Knights are 10-1 as a home favorite, coming off a 1-game homestand the last 2 years. And the Avalanche, 9-1 as an away favorite when they're coming off a game where they scored only 2 goals for in the last 3 years. So Avalanche could be a nice play here tonight. And the Boston Bruins, when they're 9-1, coming off when they're a home favorite, coming off a game where they scored only 1 goal against in the last game, the last 2 years. So the Bruins could be a nice play here tonight. So there you have it, guys. That's the 80% club here at ATSstats.com. Don't forget, check out Streakcatcher.com. Let's see if Eddie and Phillies 157 are going to get their W here today. Eddie's on a 10-game win streak, and he's going for number 11 today. And Philly's 156 on a 5-game win streak, and he could get number 6 today. And if you are interested in my top plays, my best bets, go to picks, go to Ron Raymond, and you can view my last 25 selections. If you just scroll right down here, you can see my last 25 plays. And as you can see, I'm on a good little run right now. And hopefully we can make you some money here using our top premium selections. As always, shop for value, play those percentages. We'll see you back shortly with another Raymond Report.